This is Jeff.
This is Brandon.
We're the Film Blurs. This episode is brought to you by
Puma presents the new AC Milan third kit for the 2021-22 season. The bold new progressive jersey takes traditional design and rewrites the rules to push the boundaries and defy convention. The new AC Milan third kit creates a fearless new expression of the club's identity and challenges tradition by reimagining conventional football kits in a brand new approach that merges football and streetwear culture. Puma, we are forever faster. Puma.com.
Hey, this is Annette from the Coaching You For You podcast, and you're listening to The Film Blurs on the New Pod City Podcast Network.
Get your films on with the Blurs.
Once an idea has taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate.
Unpacking movies has never been more spot on, woke, fire, and just plain lit.
They are lit all the time.
So if you're unsure whether or not to plop down some cash for a film, check out the Blurs.
When a man with a 45 meets a man with a rifle, the man with a pistol is a dead man.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolyte.
You really only need to hang, mean bastard. But mean bastards, you need to hang.
Don't say you weren't warned. Here's Brandon and Jeff.
All right. Welcome to episode 28. Damn, episode 28 of the Film Blurs. Hello, I am Brandon Norwood. Before we get into our AKAs, I just wanted to say we're going to pivot to family friendly. We're going to cover nothing but kids movies. We're going to be a wholesome, clean podcast from here on out.
Thank white Jesus for that, man, because like I've been wrestling with this in my soul, man. We have potty mouths and we've been taking the Lord's name in vain too much and talking about sex with women and boobs and butts. Forgive me, I'm sorry. But I'm so glad now that we're going to be doing a family-friendly show. Thank you for, I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to upset you, man. But like in my heart of hearts, this isn't who I am.
Yeah, so I just want to say, fuck out of here, nigga. Fuck out of here. We keeping this real. We keeping it 100.
Oh, it's like that, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Okay.
We keeping it dirty. You know who we are. We still doing our thing. We're recording remotely today because our engineer and producer pulled a ditty on us and emailed us and was like, yo, I'm shutting the studio down. Y'all niggas gotta learn a lesson. So here we are. You getting this sweet ignorance. Still, I'm Brandon Norwood, a.k.a. hero protagonist, a.k.a. the true father of Joe's kids. We got to pray for Joe for a minute. Everybody put Joe in his prayers. Joe had an anal prolapse.
An anal prolapse?
Yes, sir.
That's when the booty hole falls out the hole, right?
Because he was being pegged too much. I went to go visit, and I took the kids. I was like, kids, look at your father. Look at him. Learn some lessons from this. And the dominatrix was there. She had a big grin on her face, and I saw that grin. And I took the kids, and we were like, yo, we got to get out of here, because that seems like some devilry right there.
Now, is anal prolapse for a pegging dominatrix, is that like winning an Academy Award? Is that the gold standard?
I don't know, man. And you know what? I hope I never find out. I'm never going to find out, you know, but like I told Joe, the heart wants what the heart wants, and you know.
I never yuck anybody's yum.
Yeah.
Never yuck anybody's yum.
Yeah, so everybody keep Joe in your prayers. He's going to miss out on Thanksgiving dinner. A.K.A. Papi Chulo. Still getting your grandma pregnant. Going to take a break on the Molly. But I just saw Junior with Arnold Schwarzenegger, so now I'm trying to get a man pregnant. How's that feel? A.K.A. A.K.A. Ruff McGruff, still pulling ripping runs, a.k.a. B. Wood the Magnificent. I'm joined here by...
I'm Jeff Stewart, a.k.a. He Who Remains, a.k.a. Uncle Jeffrey, a.k.a. Revengeman Button, a.k.a. TBD, and a.k.a. Bustin' Makes Me Feel Good.
All right, well, before we get into what you've watched lately, we got just a few hits of news because it ain't shit going on because it's Thanksgiving week. Want to wish y'all a happy Thanksgiving. Ridley Scott has come out and said that he is working on a 10-episode Blade Runner show, and he's working on his own Alien show. So there will be 2 Alien shows now that are kicking around in addition to a live-action Blade Runner show.
You know what? I don't mind this just because serialized TV is where we're headed now. Like, the TV shows I've watched this year, for the most part, have been better than the movies.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, absolutely.
You know, and there's more time to actually develop the storytelling and stuff like that. So, like, if the king of media wants to tackle that, if the king of sci-fi wants to tackle 2 TV shows, you know, in his wheelhouse, let him do it.
You know what? I'm excited for Blade Runner. I will take whatever Blade Runner I can get, but I really want my mans to leave Alien alone. After Alien Covenant, just let it be. Let's see what Nola Hawley does, and if it sucks, then I guess sure. But, like, I'm aliened out, man. I'm so aliened out.
You know, like Prometheus was a little too future for me. I liked it on repeat viewings years later. The same thing with Covenant. But have you ever seen the supercut where this dude cut together Prometheus and Covenant to one long-ass movie?
I have not.
It actually works much better.
Okay.
It actually works much better.
I'm going to have to Google it. Our second bit of news, there was a movie an animated movie, it looked pretty cool, that came out the same weekend as Dune, and I guess you can guess how well it did. Yeah, it's called Ron's Gone Wrong, and it did so well that it'll be streaming on Disney Plus on December 15th.
Okay.
That was one of the fastest turnarounds I have ever seen in my life.
So what is the elevator pitch for Ron Goes Wrong?
Well, in this world, children have these robots, and these robots do everything. They're like best friend robots. They could make a phone call for you. You could ride them like skateboards. You know, they could act as hoverboards for you. And this lonely kid gets one from his dad because he's the last kid to get one, and it's fucked up, and it starts malfunctioning, and he goes on a misadventure with his malfunctioning robot.
Okay.
I'll watch it.
I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, it's free. It's on Disney
right?
Plus. Why
right?
not? Fuck it.
Yeah. Y'all probably should have held on to that and not put it out the same weekend as Dune.
Well, they figured Dune was they were hoping the Dune would be pushed back for whatever reason, you know, another pandemic or a flare up. So that's what you get. This is what you get.
And for our last bit of news for today, they tweeted out, by Universal Pictures tweeted out a date for Trolls 3. And mind you, the only reason why Trolls 2 did as well as it did was because it was the first new release during lockdown. They put it out, and everybody was like hard up for entertainment at that point.
They just wanted to get the fuck out of the house.
No. That was strictly streaming only.
That was strictly streaming, really?
Yeah, man. Trolls. I think it was Trolls War Tour. Yeah, I watched it because at the time, that was literally the only screener I had gotten in about like a month and a half. So I was like, man,
right.
I was hard up too. I was like, I need to watch this shit, and I regretted watching it as soon as it was done.
The fact that there was a Trolls 1 is unbelievable to me. The fact that they got a sequel, even more so. And
it's going to be a trilogy.
It's got to be better than that Star Wars.
November 17th, 2023. It's for all you Trolls fans out there.
But here's the thing. So it's 2023. They're announcing this 2 years in the future. Is that the troll army? Is that how big it is? That like motherfuckers are gonna be waiting with bated breath?
Yo, you know what? I'm gonna be real with you, Jeff. Your guess is as good as mine. Because at this point, I'm just like, I saw that today and I sent it to you. I was just like, yeah, sure. You know what I mean? Yeah, sure. I will say this. I will take Trolls over Sing or The Secret Life of Pets any day. I'm sorry.
You know what? I don't. Like I said, I don't really fuck with animated movies all that much. If it's not Encanto, I can't fuck with it.
Yeah, speaking of animated movies, there's one thing I forgot to tell you about Disney Plus Day. One of my favorite things to come from Disney in a long time was Zootopia. Zootopia was like a cool little film noir for children. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Zootopia's getting a sequel show on Disney Plus, and I'm just like, I wish we could have got like some more movies. Like y'all could have made like a nice little series of like noir story for kids.
You know, maybe they're just going the Naked City route. You know, maybe we're just gonna get a whole bunch of TV like it's gonna be a noir detective series.
Yeah, because
on Disney Plus.
For those of you who don't know, the Naked City was a film that became a TV show. It's called Zootopia Plus. I hate the name. I hate the name so much.
Zootopia Plus sounds like a children's snack with added extra calcium.
Yeah, right? It sounds like the Flintstones gummies. You know what? I don't know. I hope it's good. That's all I can say.
Yeah, well.
All right, Jeff.
We'll see.
What have you watched lately?
What you watching? What you watching?
I said, what you watching?
What you watching?
What are you watching?
So we actually, we watched the same thing. We'll talk about it later. But I watched Old Henry over the weekend.
Okay.
All right. Old Henry is a Western. And like I don't want to give too much away about it. It's actually really, really, really fucking good. It reminds me of the slow pace and everything like that. Reminded me of the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, and you have to say the whole entire name because you got to put respect on that fucking film. So Old Henry stars Tim Blake Nelson as this old grizzled fucking farmer raising his son when a dude comes by, when he stumbles upon a guy who's been shot and who's carrying a satchel full of money. The people inevitably who are looking for the money come after him, and it's up to the old man, Old Henry, to sort of protect his farm. It's a very slight film, very well acted. Tim Blake Nelson, he fucking kills it in the role. And unlike The Harder They Fall, the twist in Old Henry, right? The reveal makes it so much more impactful. Okay. Like, it made me like them. Like, I was already digging the movie, but once the reveal happens, I honestly fucking began to love the movie.
All right, so I'm gonna have to check this out. Old Henry.
Old Henry, and it's like it's it's brutal, it's violent, but it's also just very, very. It's very slight, you know. I mean, it's an indie film, but like. But I could see like a very talented, low budget director could have done this movie for about $50,000. So the fact that they got the stars attached to this that they did, you know, that says a lot. So it stars Tim Blake Nelson, it stars Stephen Dorff as as scenery chewing as ever. And it's well lensed. It's I can't say enough about it. And I kind of wish the reveal in Harder They Fall was as impactful as the reveal in Old Henry.
I think that reveal in The Harder They Fall, like we talked about it last episode, it should have happened much sooner than it did.
Right. It would have given Jonathan Major's character so much more kind of depth and sort of pathos, and like I would have had even more empathy for him.
And it would have been something for his character to struggle with, like something interesting. I don't, you know, it is like that whole movie's just a missed opportunity.
Right. And like I said, like we said last week, it's not a bad movie, but it could have been a better movie.
I mean, we'll talk about it in the coming weeks, but it seems like to me Netflix seems to be just missed opportunities all around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
because me and you, we got to see a Netflix movie, that's coming soon. It's gonna probably be an awards player. Like, a lot of people love it. I get why they would love it, but it's just like, man, it's hard for me to get gassed up on something like that when we're living through it. Like, it stops being funny.
Right, and that's the problem I had with, like, I wish we could talk about this, but we're under embargo. I actually, like, for the first part of that movie, I felt the same way you did. I was actually angry at it, right? But then once I started getting over my anger, I actually started really enjoying the film.
I will say this. The parts that I laughed at were character stuff, not shit that had to do with the satire or the overall story.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, yeah, no, definitely the character stuff. I wish we could talk about this, but when we get into it, like, I got a lot to say because about this film, because I see why everybody did it. I understand it, and it's not a bad movie. It's just too soon.
Yes. And you know what my brother said? Because I watched it with my brother. My brother told me, all the people in this movie, all the problems in that movie don't affect those people because they're too rich.
Right. It's sort of like how Succession, like this season of Succession, you'll notice that no one's wearing masks. And if you, that question was asked to the producers, and they were like, yeah, the Roys are so rich that the pandemic wouldn't affect anything about their life.
Yeah, see?
You know?
Also, let me ask you, too long? Because for me, too long.
It could have been 15 to 20 minutes shorter.
Yeah, I thought that could have been an hour and a half, so.
I mean, I got what they were doing. I would have excised some of the plot points to make it more streamlined, but you know what? All in all, yeah, like I said, we'll get into it. I know we can't. We're really talking very vaguely about this because we really aren't even supposed to be talking about it. But once I got past my being triggered, I actually started to actually groove with the movie.
All right.
All right. And after Old Henry, I kept it on a sort of theme, and I started watching Old.
Yeah.
So I finally watched Old.
What'd you think?
It wasn't bad. What Shyamalan did, he did really well. Right? My biggest issues with the fucking movie were, like, I figured out what was going on in the first, half hour. Because, like, not to ruin it for everybody, but, like...
Fuck it. I mean, the movie's been out.
Right. All right, so
Spoilers,
all these people are, so all these people are chosen because they have some sort of medical ailment. And as soon as I started noticing that they all had some shit wrong with them, I was like, oh, yeah, this is a pharmacy company that's doing this to them.
All right.
Yeah, that's trapped them on the beach. As soon as I realized, oh, they're all sick, it's like, okay, I know what's going on.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
I'm glad I didn't pick that up my first time.
Yeah. And the fact that it is explicitly mentioned about the coral, right? One of the characters even looks like out to sea and says, oh, look at that beautiful coral.
Right.
And not one of them thought, hey, maybe we should go out to that coral because coral takes years to form and to grow, right? Mm-hmm. So theoretically, if everything was being aged, that coral would have been massive.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It would have been like, yeah. So, but that's just me. That's me nitpicking and shit like that. But, like, it was genuinely kind of scary. It wasn't as gory as I thought it was going to be. But it was very subdued.
It was hardcore for a PG-13.
Yeah, for a PG-13. You know what the thing that made me most uncomfortable is when the grown-up 6-year-olds have sex.
Yes, that was gross. Because because you just
Like,
saw them as kids.
Right. It's like, wait, okay. I mean, I get it. I get why he would do that. I think it should have been handled a little bit better.
Yes.
But yeah, like that was the thing that disturbed me the most, actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the baby was fucked up too.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't show the baby. But all in all, I mean, it was well acted for a Shyamalan movie. And you know what I mean.
I mean, it's just an extended Twilight Zone episode. It's a 2-hour
right, it's
Twilight
an extended,
Zone.
Right. It is. It was just on the right side of overacting.
Yeah.
A little too winking at the camera for me with the acting. A little too on the nose. I'm mad that the one black dude, his name was Midsize, like the rapper, his name was Midsize Sedan. As like, come on, man, you could do better than that.
That's Shyamalan, man. He was always like, I think there was in The Visit, there was a rapper in The Visit the kids were listening to, and they said his name, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like if somebody came out and their name was Midsize Sedan, they'd be laughed off stage.
Right? And look at the names of people we have now. We got a nigga called Little Yachty, and Midsize Sedan seems ridiculous.
Right? Like, come on, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Besides those two, we actually kind of linked up, and we started watching the same thing. So I'll let you take the lead on this, and I'll jump in.
Okay.
But I started watching Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah. It's not a remake, and it's not a sequel. It's doing its own thing, which is fine. I'm glad it's doing its own thing, but the show had a style to it, and it fit the style because it was an anime. An anime, you can get away with being stylized. This show is overly stylized to a point where it's kind of distracting at parts. Like, even the dialogue, I'm just like, guys, tone it down a little bit.
I didn't mind any of that.
Yeah?
Honestly.
I know a lot of people have been complaining about how cheap it looks. This is the first time I've watched a Netflix thing, and I was like, oh, it's fine. You know what I mean? It didn't bother me.
Look, I have seen, it does not look cheap to me.
Yeah, it doesn't look cheap to me either.
It looks like they spent some fucking money on this thing. Like, the sets when they're on planet, look like real world locations, and maybe people are complaining about that. But I don't know. You can't please anime fans. Like this, you got a an Asian Spike Spiegel. For one thing, it's not
half
fucking
Asian Faye.
Right, or it's not a Ghost in the Shell whitewashing. It's stylized. It's fun. You're never gonna get 100% port from an anime to a TV to a live action TV show. Never gonna fucking happen. Right? So this is as close to perfect, quote unquote, a reimagining of that property in live action as you're gonna get.
I fuck with it. I'm about I got 3 or 4 episodes left, so I don't want to give a full review. But from what I've seen so far, I mean, I don't hate it. Like, everybody hates it. I don't hate it. It's fine. Honestly, it's the best thing Netflix has put out all year, to be quite honest.
Honestly, it looks like the casting is great. The acting is great for what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got that noir sensibility to it.
Yep.
That future noir. It makes me because I never fucked with the anime.
Oh, I did. I love the anime.
I watched the anime. But I was like, all right, it's cool, but I wasn't a fan. This show makes me appreciate the anime even more. You know?
I don't know about that, because the anime to me is one of the best things ever created. This is the anime was one of my favorite animes, because I don't really fuck with anime like that, but it's like that one and Samurai Champloo, I think, are just from top to bottom well done. And I don't think this is as good as the anime, but it's still good in its own right.
Right.
I think the only thing I have a problem with, it's kind of filling in the backstories for all the characters, and I was like, I don't really need this. Like, you got enough of that in the original show. I don't think you need that.
Right, but I mean, the great thing about this is you don't have to watch the original show.
Oh yeah, because it's its own
watch
thing.
This.
It's very much its own thing. My problem is Friday when I woke up, because I wake up early Fridays to, every day to work out and stuff like that. I popped on Instagram real quick, and mind you, this is 5 o'clock in the morning after I finished my first workout. 5 a.m., Netflix tweets out and posts to Instagram, hey, you guys are asking where Ed is. Well, here's this non-binary actress as Radical Ed. I was like, the show just literally dropped 2 hours ago. Why the fuck would you guys post this? Like, save this for like a week or two, man.
Right.
That was fucked up.
And also, stop pandering to the fucking fans.
Oh,
like, if everybody on Twitter is asking what is this character, what Netflix needs to do is watch the fucking show.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yo, if they had put that out this Friday, I would have been like, all right, fine, the show's been out for a week. But to put that up when the shit's been out for 2 hours.
For 2 hours, right.
Holy shit, that pissed me off. I was like, yo, fuck you guys. Like, you guys spoil your own shit.
Right, but it's just like to please the fans is like, just watch the fucking show.
Yeah. Because they did that shit for Red Notice, man. They tweeted out the Ed Sheeran cameo. And I'm like, maybe y'all kept that a secret for a fucking reason.
Yeah, give us a fucking weekend.
Yeah.
Like, give us
Christ.
Like, if you put out something on Friday morning, give me until Sunday night before you start fucking cock blocking yourself.
Or how about Monday night? Like, let me get to Monday night. Like, if I make anything for Netflix, I'm gonna have in my contract like no spoilers till the following weekend.
Right? It's that fan toxicity. They feel emboldened, and they feel sort of like I'm a fan. I love fandom, but this is the worst part of fandom. Is like hurry up, give me what I want, answer me right away. There's no room for like, hey, watch the show. Hey, give it some time. You know.
Well, I will get into this in the Ghostbusters review, but I think fandom has really become nostalgia based, and I don't like it, honestly. I really don't like it, because if you don't make, it seems like if you don't make somebody feel a certain way as they did as a kid, they're going to hate it. And if you don't give them like the iconic shit doing iconic things, they're gonna hate it.
Right.
So I mean, at this point, I'm just like, I'm kind of done with franchises, man. Like, I'm almost at the point where I'm just like, yo, fuck these franchises.
Right. Give me an original fucking movie. Just give me an original movie. I want to stay away from franchises. I want to stay away from blockbusters, man. Because honestly, the blockbusters have been disappointing.
I mean, we had October. It was Onslaught, and we had some fucking quality ones, man. Like, we had No Time to Die. It was Dune, and what else came out in October? There's one more I know I'm missing.
I don't know, but you know what? Dune and No Time to Die felt like they were made for adults by adults. You know, everything else seems like it's been made for people in Arrested Development.
That's a perfect way of putting it. Arrested Development, and that we'll get into it more in our Ghostbusters review.
Right, and like I got complex feelings about the Ghostbusters thing, because everything that I've said that I hated, we're gonna get into it. I loved in this fucking movie. On HBO Max, there's a show called fucking Kamikaze. Don't watch it. I'm sick of seeing TV shows about influencers and how hard it is and the trouble and things that they have to go through. And yes, in Kamikaze, what this girl, the lead character, goes through is horrible. But if you set her up from the get as someone who I'm not going to like, I don't like, you know, it's kind of hard for you to turn me, right? So the Kamikaze is about this Instagram or social media influencer who's rich. His parents were rich. Yada, 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 yada. Her whole entire family dies in a plane crash. And it's her dealing with all of that after the fact. And then eventually she ends up crashing a plane in the middle of the fucking desert.
That sounds like a fake-ass Survivor. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the book by Chuck Palahniuk. Chuck Palahniuk wrote Fight Club.
Is it Palin? I've always pronounced it Palinchuk.
What?
Is it Palahniuk?
Sure, man, Palinchuk. Sure.
The nigga who did Fight Club.
Yeah. So
and Choke.
So yeah, it was Survivor. I know that's been. It sounds like a fake ass Survivor, man. Honestly, because Survivor is one of the best books I've ever read, and this shit, I'm just like, it sounds like a fake ass Survivor, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, so Kamikaze, I'm like 3 or 4 episodes in. I don't want to watch it. Oh, and I think it was made in Dutch.
Oh, so it's just stop watching it.
So not only is it just not for me, it's got that really just bad overdubbing.
Okay.
So now like the voices, like I'd rather have it in the original language, and I'm sure you could watch it in the original language, but I shouldn't have to do a deep dive in the menus to get HBO Max to play it in the original Dutch with subtitles.
You know, Americans hate reading. I don't like to read.
We hate fucking reading.
I don't like to read. That's why we're as stupid as we are right now.
Yeah, that's...
You don't like to read, but you'll read fucking 85 Facebook and Instagram and fucking Twitter posts.
You don't like to read, but you sure know a whole lot about conspiracy theories.
Yeah, right? Jesus Christ. All right, well, you could talk about this with me. This season of Curb has been insane. Like, have you watched last night's episode?
I didn't watch last night's episode yet.
So
what's up?
We'll hold off on that, and let's talk about episode 4. Episode 4 is called Watermelon. And Leon, one of the through lines in the episode is Leon doesn't like eating watermelon in front of white people and doesn't like he doesn't like telling people he likes watermelon because it's a black stereotype. And he doesn't honestly, like eating in front of Larry because he's a white man.
I felt Leon right there because I don't eat fried chicken in front of white people and I don't eat watermelon in front of white people.
Yes. I was like, Leon, I get where you're coming from, but then like he tells Larry and they go to the grocery store and Larry makes that whole big ass speech. He's like, I'm gonna eat gefilte fish with some cream cheese on a bagel. And the other black dude, he's like, I'm gonna buy you some watermelon. He's like, yes, I love watermelon. Like that shit had me dying. And then
because watermelon, so that's just tasty.
So Larry gets into a car accident because there's another storyline where he's going to his friend Freddie Funkhauser's girlfriend, who's an eye doctor, and she fucks his eyes up. He rear ends a woman, a black woman named Mary Ferguson. Now, throughout this whole season, Leon's been trying to date women with the name Larry Ferguson because he's going on a vacation, and he booked it with Mary Ferguson.
Mary Ferguson's ticket or name.
Yeah. So he brings her home so Leon can get have a new Mary Ferguson, and they walk into the kitchen, and it's Leon and his friend sitting there eating watermelon, and she, mind you, this is a black woman. She sees this, and she goes, "Oh no, fuck this," and runs out. And he's like, "Larry, what the fuck, Larry?" And I couldn't stop laughing. He's like, "You gotta bring a bitch home named Mary Ferguson while I'm having a fucking watermelon orgy." He's like, yeah, that shit had me dying too. He's like, no, he's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't know you were gonna be doing this." He's like, "You told me to, Larry." He's like, "Well, can I join you?" He's like, "Fuck yeah, get in this shit." And Larry sits down. They all start like chowing down on that watermelon. The fucking KKK storyline. That shit had me dying.
I mean, this season has consistently, like, except for the first episode, this season, honestly, it's one of the best they've had in years.
Yeah. This is last night's episode's gonna. It's not as funny as Watermelon, but it's still hilarious. Like once you, oh my god, I can't wait for you to see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that tonight.
This shit has been amazing. It's been so good. We're halfway through now. We're 5 episodes in. We got another 5 episodes to go. Same with Insecure. I finished last night's episode, and now there's only 5 episodes left of the whole show, period, because this is the final season. Right. I really don't know how they're going to end this show. And that is refreshing for once to not know where this show is going to go.
Yeah, I am 2 seasons behind on Insecure. And I gotta catch up. And I stopped watching. I didn't stop watching because it was bad. I stopped watching, because in fact, one of the best shows about black women there's ever been created.
Yes.
If not the best. I mean, this and Living Single.
These are women who are trying, man. Like they're messes, and I think the thing I love about it is last season they realized they're both fucked up and they need to figure their shit out. And this season they're really thriving because they finally figured their shit out, but they also have a lot more personal struggles just because of life. You know what I mean? Right. And it's really I'm really excited to see how this goes. Like shout out to Issa Rae. She's a great writer, director, actress. You know, shout out to Yvonne Orji. She's doing her thing. Like, everybody kills it on the show. The show manages to balance that comedy and drama as a perfect tightrope 50-50 act. Because not most things can do that. So, I can't state it enough. Insecure. Like, if you have HBO or HBO Max, go through the show. It's worth it.
Yeah, I'm gonna start catching up on Insecure just so I can watch the last episode and be, in a couple of weeks and be fresh. End it when everybody else ends it.
Well, the last episode it has its end date. It is right after Christmas, December 26th.
Oh, word? Okay, yeah.
So Merry Christmas. Yeah, Merry Christmas, right?
Yeah.
So the other thing I've watched, this was a couple of weeks ago, I forgot to talk about it. We got the last half of I'm sorry, excuse me. We got the second season of Animaniacs, and Animaniacs is still funny, still a razor sharp satire. It knows how to do a satire properly,
Right.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's not afraid to make fun of Hollywood and how fucking ridiculous Hollywood is. And this is basically for kids,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the original Animaniacs, was and still is one of the best hybrid shows. And when I say hybrid, I mean fun for kids.
Yeah.
But also smart enough for adults.
So it was like Gargoyles.
Yeah, the storytelling in Gargoyles
underrated.
Underrated. It got dark.
Yeah,
it got real fucking dark.
Yo, Disney, give me an IMAX camera. And let me do a Gargoyles movie.
I mean, Disney, you hear them? Give them some money. Let them do a fucking Gargoyles movie because I would love to see that shit.
But Animaniacs. If the X-Men revival that's going to come on in a couple of years, if it can be like this and capture the spirit of what they did in the 90s, but update it, but keep it what the show is, then there's gonna be no problems. I think we have no problems because the Animaniacs revival is currently on Hulu. Just for everybody who's asking, the first 2 seasons are now streaming on Hulu.
Yeah, well, there you go. There's another reason to get Hulu. I fuck with Hulu. I love Hulu.
Oh yeah, I love Hulu more than Netflix.
Honestly, yeah. And like the algorithm gets me better for some reason.
Yeah, and
On
you know
Hulu.
what? The Hulu's more TV, but their selection of movies is better too.
Right? Like
Yeah.
I rarely go to the movie section on Hulu, but when I do, it's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
oh shit.
Yeah. So while we're talking about Hulu, I'm going to talk about Hit Monkey, Marvel's Hit Monkey. This was literally the last remnant of Marvel Television before it broke down and died.
So tell me about Hit Monkey.
I like it. I'm surprised I like it because I hated MODOK and I wasn't really fucking with anything else they've made for Hulu except for the first season of Runaways.
Okay.
But I'm about 5 episodes in. We'll
All right.
see how it goes, but it's funny. It has a very clever and sometimes touching story. And, you know, for a show about for a monkey who's a hitman, like, they found a way in and did it, like, the best possible way you can.
So when you say funny, do you mean actually funny or like MODOK trying too hard funny?
No, actual funny. Not like that. Not like that.
Okay. All
So,
right.
yeah.
So what's the story? Like, give me the elevator pitch on Hit Monkey because
So basically, there's this hitman. He's the world's most nicest hitman. He's set up, and he escapes the setup, and he goes to this mountain to recover. On the mountain, there live some snow monkeys, and the snow monkeys help him recover. And how could I say this? One of them doesn't like him. So while he's recovering, the assassins find him and kill him, and they kill all the monkeys except for this one monkey who hated the assassin.
right.
And so the assassin's ghost trains the monkey to become a hitman, and these two are now like going on an adventure, taking hits to work their way up to getting revenge on these people.
Yo, this sounds right up my fucking alley.
Yeah,
Yo,
and it's 25 minutes an episode. It's fantastic.
All right, Hit Monkey. I know what I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, so
else?
Hit Monkey. So
What else you been watching?
a Netflix movie that's coming out soon. It's coming out, I think, on Wednesday, called The Unforgivable with Sandra Bullock.
Yep. All right. That's all you gotta say. All right,
Like,
go ahead.
It's about her trying to protect her 5-year-old sister, and she kills a cop, and she goes to prison. So she's released from prison, and everybody hates her because she's a cop killer, and they shove it in her face. They're like, "You're a fucking cop killer. You don't deserve a second chance," and this and that, and yada yada yada. And I'm like, "Yo, this bitch spent like fucking 20 years in prison, y'all. Like, she went to prison, and she got out on parole. So like." Even her CO, played by Rob Morgan's like, yo, you're a piece of shit. And I'm like, yo, as a CO, you're supposed to be helping her move on and do better shit with her life.
Wait. So she killed the cop who was coming after her baby sister, her 5-year-old sister.
Because cause they weren't when she killed her sister, she was like a teen, like 13, 14, 15. Because she was basically taking care of her sister because her mother died and their dad was just, you know, a drunk and not there. So
A Joe.
Yeah. So nothing was being paid for, and the house was like foreclosed on. And she's like, "Yeah, you're not taking this house. This is my house. My sister lives here. I gotta take care of my sister." And fuck it, I'm gonna give away the reveal. She didn't kill the cop. Her sister did. Her sister grabbed the gun and shot the cop dead. But she was 5, so because the kid didn't know what she was doing.
I mean, I know you gave away the reveal, but in a movie like this, if you don't see that shit coming, like, you know, the reveal,
Yeah.
Because that's like every movie, I feel, has that reveal. Oh, it wasn't that person. It was the person you least expected, except for you should have expected it.
And John Bernthal's in it, and he's her love interest and shit like that. And meanwhile, as she's trying to get her life together and fight the system on seeing her sister again, because the judge said she couldn't see her sister, and the sister's
Well, how old's the sister now?
She's like 14, 15.
Wait, how old was Sandra? Like Sandra Bullock, right?
Yeah, Sandra Bullock.
Wait,
so Sandra Bullock is like an old ass woman, and her sister is like in her like 15, 16, 17. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Trust me. Because the parents that adopted the sister also don't want her to see the sister. So now she has a lawyer played by Vincent D'Onofrio who's helping her trying to see her sister.
This sounds dumb.
Yeah, it's called The Unforgivable. It's stupid. Meanwhile,
Wait, I'm just trying to do the fucking math. Because,
yeah, all right, Jeff,
so
don't. It's not worth it. Yes. So meanwhile, one of the relatives of the dead cop see her out and see her walking free, and they're plotting their revenge.
So,
Unforgivable.
So they got Sandra Bullock playing a 26-year-old.
No, they have. Yeah, I mean,
if you do the math,
yes, I know. But she's old as shit, and they make her look old as shit.
Right, but like if she was 14 when she killed.
Why are you trying to make sense of a bad movie? It's a bad movie. I don't know what to tell you, man. It sucks. It's from the director of Bird Box.
I'm just trying to understand that casting. I don't understand that casting.
I don't know why they chose the route they did. Like, in reality, the sister should be in her 30s or her late 20s. Even then, by that point, it's stupid. It's stupid. It's stupid. Let's move on. Let's fucking move on.
All right, dude. Do you have any more?
I mean, that's it, man. That's all I've watched.
I got one more I forgot about that I watched because we were talking about JB Smoove. I watched The Jesus Rolls.
Oh, is that the Big Lebowski sequel?
It's not a Big Lebowski sequel.
It's a spinoff?
It just has Jesus, the character, who happened to be in the Big Lebowski. This is a weird little fucking movie.
Why is that?
It's a sex farce.
What?
So it's so it's actually a remake of Les Velsuzes, which is a French book but also a movie. So it's real fucking French, right? Real weird. And it's about Jesus gets out of jail. He hooks up with Bobby Cannavale, who's his best friend, and the chick who played Amelie.
Oh, so Audrey Tautou?
Yeah, Audrey Tautou. And they just go around pulling small-time capers and fucking. Fucking each other, fucking her, fucking other people, fucking Susan Sarandon.
Man, what happened to her? What happened to her?
Fucking Pete Davidson.
That sucks.
No, it's for what it is. It's like I said, it's a weird. It reminded me of a '90s French film. It's a sex farce, like something you would watch late night on Cinemax. For
like the Bear Wench Project.
Not that bad. Not that bad.
It's not a softcore.
It's not a softcore. There is some nudity in it, and like simulated sex, but it's all hilarious. And it's meant to be hilarious. There's no real story there besides them all kind of pulling these capers and becoming better friends and better, like, they eventually become a throuple. But if you like French films from the 90s, or if you like those Spanish movies like Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down,
Oh yeah, I love that fucking movie.
Yeah, it's like that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it makes no fucking sense. It's just weird characters and cameos doing weird shit in upstate New York and in Jersey.
All right.
People hated this movie. I was looking at the reviews. It's like, yeah, how can you hate this fucking movie? It's so... It's just so, like, random, and they knew... Like, John Turturro knew what he was doing when he wrote this and he directed it. He knew the kind of movie he was making. Like, he just really loved the character and probably really loved this book and this movie and decided, like, I'm just going to do a remake with the Jesus character. And I kind of really fucking dug it. So the Jesus Rolls, it is not a sequel to The Big Lebowski. And honestly, beyond the fact that Jesus is in it and he bowls, it really has no connection to the Lebowski verse.
Okay. I will get to it. Like, I got so much shit I gotta get through. So, let's get into trailer talk.
Roll camera and action.
It's time for some trailer talk.
Let's talk about it. They finally put out a trailer for the Sex and the City revival. What we've been building up to. Jeff, have you watched Sex and the City 2?
I have not watched Sex and the City 2. I'm like, look, I watched old. I'm getting to Sex and the City 2.
Look, we're gonna hold your feet to the fire. Sex and the City 2.
I'm gonna watch it before the show comes out.
All right. Well, this looks pretty cool, man. I mean, I got nothing bad to say about it. It looks like, I know a lot of people are asking, where's Samantha? Where's Samantha? And I'm just like, well, after watching Sex and the City 2, Samantha don't need to be in this shit.
Right. I mean, and also, they couldn't get her back.
Yeah, and I get it, because, like, yo, you cannot have a 65-year-old woman running around fucking all these men in the streets, man. Like,
right.
So, I get it. So, it looks like they've evolved with the times, so I'm really interested to see how, and it has a diverse cast now. They're surrounded by returning characters, but the new characters are all diverse.
Well, you have to, and like, it both represents. Like, I don't know how to feel about this when I see a diverse cast. It really does represent the world as it is or is moving towards.
Right.
But also, sometimes it just feels like fucking pandering.
And
you know,
to me,
I don't know how that plays here.
It doesn't feel like pandering to me here. It just feels like it's a sign of the times. That's what it feels like to me. Like, the show's kind of evolving with the times. I'm very interested to see what storylines are going to be tackled, because we didn't really get that much, because it's like only a minute trailer.
Right.
It's just letting you know, like, hey, 3 of the 4 girls are back, and, you know, it's going to be more hijinks in the city.
Hey, you know what? If they've updated it to, like, where we are now, you know, and they've learned lessons from their missteps in their last show, it might be a banger. You know, like, the fans of the show are going to love it. Or they're going to hate it. Depends on how much they lean into nostalgia.
I mean, I like seasons 2 through 5 are excellent. Season 6 is pretty good, and that first movie's decent. So it's hard for me to say, like, oh, I'm mad at it. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't have been mad at it anyway. Like,
yeah. So
I'm not the core demo for that.
Look, man, everything. I'm at the point where I will give everything its fair shake in court until I see it. After Venom, Let There Be Carnage, I cannot talk shit. I can just say it looks bad.
I totally get you. Like, I won't not watch it, but I realize that I'm not the room they're speaking to.
Right.
I just yeah.
And you never know. You might like it. That's what I've heard. You might like it.
Yeah, I might end up really fucking with it.
Yeah.
You know, like Insecure. Like, Insecure is not built for me. I'm not a woman. Like, I can relate to it as a black person.
It's built for me. Like, that was a show for me, though.
Right? But, like, I fuck with Insecure just because it's. I mean, it hits on all levels.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I totally understand that I'm not the like. I don't have. You don't have to 4-quadrant this shit.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, like sometimes a thing is not. I can appreciate something's good, and it not be for me.
What's interesting here is that this is a HBO Max exclusive. This will not be airing on HBO. This is HBO Max.
Does HBO even still exist anymore? Like,
I mean, people still have cable, man.
I mean,
HBO Max is free if you have HBO on cable.
Yeah, I haven't watched actual HBO, since HBO Go came out. Honestly.
So this is a HBO Max exclusive. The premieres December 9th. So we'll see, man. With this, you'll be getting it from us. Let's move into our next trailer, which is the teaser for Halo. It's a real short, like 30-second teaser.
Oh, yeah, 27 seconds, some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we talked about it before, but like from what we saw, that wasn't in the teaser. Like the teaser's just Master Chief putting on his helmet.
Right.
It's coming out. They're letting you know it's coming out next year on Paramount Plus. So I cannot cancel Paramount Plus anymore.
Well, you can just re-up.
What do you mean re-up?
Like you can cancel your subscription and just resubscribe.
That defeats the whole purpose.
Well, I mean, if you're not going to watch it for like 3 months, why pay for those 3 months?
No, because I'm currently watching stuff on there, but all the stuff that I'm watching has ended. So I'm just like, well, I might as well just keep it. You know what I'm saying? Because I paid yearly. I'm a yearly guy.
Okay, so that's the thing. You paid yearly.
Because it's cheaper. Because it's cheaper than paying month by month, man.
Yeah, it is cheaper than paying month by month. But I am horrible with money.
Yeah, see, I'm trying to manage stuff, and I got a discount on it. So they really should have held off like The Matrix did and put out a trailer when they had full footage. That's the one thing I appreciate about The Matrix is like every time I go to the movies and I see that trailer, I'm so glad they put out like a 3-minute trailer for that movie that gives you a taste of what the movie's going to be without telling you what it's going to be.
Right.
And that's what I wish they would have waited. Like, this is just a teaser because the stuff we seen, it looks like if this shit sucks, they're going to be fucked. Like, they spent a lot of money on this.
Like, this may be the show that bankrupts Paramount.
Yeah.
Like,
and they're already hurting for money.
Yeah.
So,
like,
I mean,
if this is not a hit, if this is not a banger, it's done.
Yeah. But yeah, Halo sometime next year. They ain't give a date. They just said 2022. So, Jeff, I'll let you take over now, and then we'll both talk about the LA event that happened around this trailer. So why don't you get into the trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home? Because I put my earbuds in and I closed my eyes when they played the trailer in front of Ghostbusters. So take the lead.
The trailer for this second trailer gives you less information than the first one.
Really?
Yes. You have to watch the first trailer to know what's going on in the second trailer.
Huh.
Because Doctor Strange actually mentions that Peter Parker fucked up the spell in the second trailer, but there's no like build up for him, you know, like, and Doctor Strange is just in there. So it gives away less than the first trailer did. It does show Doc Ock. You hear Green Goblin talking to Peter or some iteration of Peter. You see Sandman, Electro. They all team up, so it is Sinister Six.
How's the Sinister Six look?
I mean, from the 30 frames that I saw, it could go either way.
Oh shit!
It looked epic. It looked like that level in the last Spider-Man game where all those motherfuckers team up and you gotta fight them. Besides the introduction of the actual villains, there's nothing new.
All right, well, I saw a post about it, so I will let you guys know, our listening audience. Tickets go on sale Monday, because, you know, Monday's Cyber Monday. They crossed out the Cyber and put Spider Monday. So tickets on sale, Spider Monday.
Ooh, Spider Monday. Fap.
I would suggest getting on that, because I know these tickets are going to go quick. If you're going to hold out and wait for Christmas, I would use Monday to buy those Christmas tickets, because those are going to go quick too.
And also go on a complete media blackout.
Oh, yeah, because if the leaks that we've seen, I can only imagine what's going to happen in the coming weeks as people lay eyes on this movie.
Right, because what we saw from the leaks that were on Twitter, these are big fucking things. Big fucking reveals. And that's a small part of this whole entire fucking movie.
Man.
You know, so if you don't see this movie within 48 hours of it coming out, I'm sorry for your loss.
I mean, Jeff, you already know, because we're gonna get a press screening, right?
Yep.
But then I'm gonna go with some people and see it on the 68th and Broadway IMAX, and I cannot wait for that because I love seeing Doctor Strange doing Doctor Strange shit in IMAX. When I'm flying, on IMAX when I'm flying through Smack City. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Doctor Strange is mayor of Smack City, so.
Let's talk about the No Way Home event. And the reason why we want to talk about this is because Tom Holland came out. And Tom Holland was talking so much shit. Remember I sent you a couple of things, Jeff?
Yeah. Like how he's being big and bold about this shit.
So, let's get into two things he said before we move on to our main review. So, two things he said at this trailer event, which I'm just like, nigga, calm down. The first thing he said, me and John Watts made sure that the fights in this movie are the best fights in any superhero movie ever. These fights are dynamic, they're changing the game, and they're pushing boundaries. And I'm like, my guy, relax. You're making a Spider-Man movie. Like, calm the fuck down.
I love Tom Holland's energy. I just want to give him a hug. He seems like the most awesome, excitable dude ever. I'd like to have a drink with him. That being said, isn't he the one that they had to censure because he kept on fucking talking out of turn?
Yes.
And giving away secrets and shit like that?
Yes. So let's move on to the next thing he said. He said, there will never be a superhero movie as ambitious as this. This is Spider-Man Endgame. He's like, this will be one of the best superhero movies you will ever see. Now, let me bring it. Jeff, why don't you go ahead and talk while I go and find this?
Look, all right, so those are bold fucking words that will turn to ash in his mouth eventually. It can never be. It might be the best thing we've seen up until now, but I mean, there's so much more out there. We still have fucking
the
Secret
Batman.
Wars. We still have the Batman, and honestly,
I'm more excited for the Batman than anything else.
You know, and I love Batman, and I'm almost at the point of being burnt Batman out. Like if the Batman doesn't fucking hit 98% of the things I need it to be, I'm gonna have to walk away from Batman for a second.
I don't know, man. That new trailer, oh my god, that is pure bliss.
Yeah, it's the world's greatest detective. People keep on fucking forgetting that Batman's the world's greatest detective.
He's violent, he's angry, but it's in a context that works. You know what I mean? Right. Also, he doesn't look fucking stupid. So Tom Holland, here's the exact quote. Tom Holland calls Spider-Man No Way Home the most cinematic and theatrical superhero movie that has ever been made, and it says it exceeds expectations in every way.
Well, that's impossible, because the expectations on this one are super fucking high from everybody but us.
Well, I mean, it's just because for me, these Marvel joints this year have been pretty weak, and then on top of that, I had no expectations for Far From Home. Just because Spider-Man Homecoming to me was just like, it was all right. The only thing I liked about it was Tom Holland was a perfect Peter Parker and a perfect Spider-Man.
Right.
Like a perfect hybrid. Like this is the first time in live action where I was just like, okay, we finally got both aspects of the character right. Because Tobey was a perfect Peter Parker, but was an okay Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield was a really great Spider-Man, not a good Peter Parker at all.
He was to me he was all right. He wasn't. I mean, he wasn't. He was no Tobey.
But they finally got it right. So both aspects of the character, they finally got it right in this one. And that was the only thing because I was just like, the whole shit, I was just like, yeah, okay. And so going into Far From Home for me was what Tom Holland was talking about. Like, the fights in that were spectacular. The story was just kept moving. Like, Spider-Man Far From Home was one where I was like, I'm glad I saw this in IMAX. I'm glad my press screening was in IMAX. It was made for the screen. Like, Mysterio was such a good villain. Right. The romance between him and MJ was so well written. Like, that whole movie, and then to end it with the
reveal.
Yeah, with the reveal of J.K. Simmons and Mysterio just straight up fucking over a little kid like that was crazy. And then to have the post credits go even further and be like, oh, it was Talos the whole time, and Nick Fury is off-world just chilling. Y'all got a high bar, because Spider-Man No Way Home, I don't know if you guys are going to do better than that, man. Or Far From Home.
I don't know if it's going to be better. He is right in one aspect. It is the most ambitious of the Spider-Man movies, of any of the Spider-Man movies that have ever been.
Well, I can say I would rather movie be ambitious than lazy.
Yeah, I'd rather you fail big than succeed at being mediocre.
Absolutely. So, yeah, let's get into our main review.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the Film Blurds feature film review.
We'll start with King Richard. Man, I was not expecting this to be this good, because biopics are like a dime a dozen. They come out almost... There's like one almost every month now, and I'm just like, you know what to expect. But from this, I was like, this was well done from top to bottom.
And like, the thing about biopics is, especially sports biopics, you can just Google what happened, right? You can, like, right. When they're doing a match or something like that, you can Google what happens before, or you could be a sports fan and know how it plays out, and the tension is taken away from it, right? Even knowing how these big matches go down, right? You're still, like, tense, right?
I think the reason why this one succeeded and the other ones don't was because this one didn't focus on the athletes. It focused on the athlete's father and his struggles. And you're just seeing he's a good dude, but he is a flawed man who's done some bad things.
And honestly, I like that in my biopics, because biopics have a habit of just being like, oh, this is their life. They're a genius. They never did anything bad, and if they did, they were really, really sorry, and, blah, 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 right?
It's the Ray effect, because ever since Ray... That's because biopics before Ray, they were basically like saint pictures. And biopics after Ray, you get the tortured artists where they were drinking, doing drugs, they did this, did that. King Richard shows the portrait of a complicated but good man. Like, he's done, like, his wife says, like, ever since these girls started becoming big, now the rest of your family's coming around. Like, the secret son you had came around. The secret cousin you had came around. And I'm just like, oh, wow.
And,
and you see
can be an asshole.
Yeah, him being a jerk off.
Right, like, he's fucking cocky and arrogant, and, he was right 85% of the time, but those 15%.
Yep, he overplayed his hand.
Right.
I like that this showed in the first 15 minutes what all the adversities of living in the hood, because if you ever lived in a rough neighborhood, it is almost exactly like that, where you just got, you got dumb motherfuckers trying to call your bluff. So, like, when he grabbed the biscuit and was gonna run up on the dude, I stood up and started clapping, because I'm like, yeah, because fuck this guy. And he was somebody where I was like, nobody's gonna miss him. But then, right as he's about to do it, somebody does the job for him.
Because that was unexpected. Right after that happens, right after that happens, the hood had their back. As soon as they started, like, winning the juniors, the hood had their back.
Yeah, the dudes rolled up. They're like, we see why you were doing this. We see what you're doing. From now on, Do your thing.
It's like, you got no problem with us.
Yeah.
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 This was Black Excellence, the movie.
Yeah.
You know, like, it just felt like, I hope they start showing this shit to, like, little black girls especially, but little black boys too.
That you can do whatever you want. Yeah.
Right.
You can do you could overcome any adversity if you work for it.
Right. But you gotta work for it. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta want it. And
Yeah.
it was good because it didn't. You see Richard himself struggle, Richard Williams struggle, but you never see the spirit of Venus or Serena broken the whole movie because he was a good father and he shielded them from that.
Right. And the movie's also about generational pain.
Yeah.
You know, like when he's talking about, like, growing up in the South and, like, all the stories that he told. My parents are from the South. I heard those same fucking stories.
Right.
You know? And also, like, it really hit me when Richard's talking about, like, for that last tournament, when he's like, it's just not you stepping out on the court. It is every, little black girl in this country, you know?
Yep.
And that kind of hit me because you and I, as being, like, pseudo-successful African-American males, we feel a lot of pressure that we just can't represent us, like me and you as individuals.
Right.
When we do something, we can't fuck up.
Yeah.
And B, like, we're literally doing it for the culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like, we got. We're not representatives of Jeff and Brandon. We're representatives of Black America.
Yeah.
Always, forever. I can be at McDonald's. I'm a fucking ambassador for all of Negro-dom.
Yeah. When we sit down and eat our Big Mac, we can't fuck that up.
Right. You know.
You know, because white people, I don't think you guys understand. Our lives can end at any minute just for the wrong fucking reasons. Like, I can drop a fry in the middle of a subway, and that could be a problem.
Right. So, like, we can't afford to show our asses.
Right.
You know, we can't afford to have a bad day.
Yeah.
You know, and we can't afford to, like, be unbecoming, because then, they were an example for everyone. Like, you see, this is why you can't give those niggas money.
Yep. You
know, so, like, that hit me. Like, a lot of these parts of this movie kind of hit me.
I'm gonna be real with you. This is like a Thanksgiving movie. I'm gonna watch it again over the Thanksgiving break.
Yeah, this is a second watch. Like, most biopics is like once, whatever, like that. I could see this being like a second or third watch. Like,
and the reason why I want to watch it again, not only just for Will Smith's performance, which is excellent, and he should be nominated. Let's be real. Like, he should at least be nominated.
I don't know if he'll get it,
but he should.
But he should. Like, I haven't seen anybody else this year who's put up a performance like that.
Right.
You know, not yet.
I want to watch it again because the one thing I've noticed, and it recurred to me, because the story sucked me in. I was just paying attention to the story. But every once in a while, it sucked me in. Some shots of this movie would suck me in. I'm like, this looks so much better than the average biopic that comes out month after month. And I'm like, why is that? So during the end credits, I saw the DP was Robert Elswit. I was like, how the fuck did they get Robert Elswit to shoot this movie? He is a legendary DP.
Because this is like this may be one of the best biopics that ever has been. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like I know hyperbole, because, when we first saw the trailer, we were both kind of lukewarm about this shit.
Right. We were gonna see it just because it's a black family about a black movie, right? But the trailers do the movie a disservice, which is weird because Warner Brothers knows how to make a good trailer. They know how to sell you a movie.
But yeah, this I was pleasantly fucking surprised by this fucking movie and like how much it affected me.
Can we give a shout out to the wife? I forget what her name is, but she's been in a lot, and she's
Hold on
just
one
been.
second. I'll look it up. You keep talking.
She's been great in a lot. She was great in Lovecraft Country. She was one of the best things about that. She's been working for a long time, and she's just been, because she has parts in this movie. Like when she went to talk to the nosy neighbor.
Oh yeah.
And told her like, yo, listen, don't do that shit again. And I have neighbors like that, nosy ass neighbors who get in your business and try to cause trouble.
Her name is, I'm gonna butcher this, Anjanou Elise.
Okay. Anjanou, I love you. You keep doing your thing.
Yeah, I mean Lovecraft Country. Let's see, Designated Survivor.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. Done a lot of TV, a lot of fucking TV. Yeah, I mean, I think this and Lovecraft Country are her biggest, most high-profile things.
Okay, but yeah, so guys, I can't stress this enough.
I mean, she might be getting nominated for this. She was that good because she wasn't the set-upon wife, you know, or mother.
Best, yeah, because she even says, she's like, yo, stop making decisions without me.
Right. It was like we've both been out here doing this shit.
Yeah. So best supporting actress for her. If you can see this, see it in a theater, and if you can't, watch it on HBO Max. Like, yo, this deserves your attention over the Thanksgiving holiday. Yeah, this is a great movie.
I was surprised at how affected I was by this movie and how good it is.
The girls were great too. Like all the girls, not just Venus and Serena, but like every girl was great in this.
And I hate child actors, so it takes a great child actor for me to be impressed.
Yeah. I'm going to look up this director because now I'm interested to see what else he did. It's a Hispanic dude.
Top Boy.
Oh, he did Top Boy?
Yeah, nigga, he did Top Boy.
What?
Yo, he did.
What?
Last season of Top Boy, he did 3 episodes. Which the last season of Top Boy was 3 episodes.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Enough said.
All right.
Enough said. He did Top Boy.
Okay.
If you don't know Top Boy, get on Netflix right fucking now.
Let's just say it. It's the British version of The Wire.
Yep, pretty much, 100%.
Damn. All right.
Yeah,
damn.
He did 3 episodes of Top Boy, but they're
What's
British
his name?
seasons. What?
What's his name?
His name is Ronaldo Marcus Green.
Yo, shout out to Ronaldo Marcus Green. I cannot.
He's half. With a name like Green, he's got to be half. He's half Spanish.
Hollywood. Stop hiring all these mediocre people to do your franchises and start getting like talented people. Like, I'm glad you got Denny. I'm glad you got Chloe Zhao. Now let's start getting some more talent. You know what I mean?
He also did that movie Joe Bell.
Oh, that
the one where Mark Wahlberg walks.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? I've been meaning to watch that.
I got a screener for it this time last year, and I didn't watch it just because everybody who watched it told me like it's garbage. It has like 30% on Rotten Tomatoes, my guy.
Does it?
Like everybody I know who's seen it was just like, yeah, don't.
I mean, you can't hit them out of the park all the time.
Yeah. And you know what? I appreciate Mark Wahlberg for trying. So
right.
So that's all I gotta say about that. But yeah, King Richard, see it. Jeff, what do you say?
Oh yeah, definitely see it. Like, if you can go out to the theater, great. But it's definitely worth a watch on Amazon or HBO Max.
Yeah, because I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna try and get to it again sometime this week.
Yeah, this is definitely worth a rewatch.
So, let's move on to our final review, the big one. Ghostbusters Afterlife. Man, I was gonna indulge myself in childhood nostalgia and try to get some Ecto Cooler, because High C re-released Ecto Cooler for this movie. And guess what?
I got an Ecto Cooler up here.
Do you?
Yeah, it's in the can form. Someone gave it to me like 4 years ago. It's on top of my my library.
Man, I was looking forward to chugging down an Ecto Cooler while watching this movie, and go on Twitter and their Instagram to find out it's not in stores. They're only giving it away to clout chasers and people who are big enough nerds to either tweet at them or post a picture, and they will send it to you.
I mean, I'll do that shit.
All right, do that. Get 2 bottles so I can have one to drink. I missed Ecto Cooler.
Who do I got to tweet to?
High C. High C.
All right. Yeah.
So we're gonna call you out on the show, High C. Brandon and Jeff want Ecto Cooler. I want a bottle of Ecto Cooler.
All right. When we post this episode, make sure to tag High C.
High C, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna tag him. I want my Ecto Cooler.
Yeah.
All right. So as the movie itself, look, man. I might be the only person who liked the 2016 Ghostbusters. My only fatal flaw with that movie was that it was a remake and not a sequel. Like, had that been a sequel, I probably would have loved that movie. But as it stands, I don't know. This here, I appreciate what he was going for, but I was bored through most of it, to be honest with you. Like, I was just straight up bored.
See, like, here's my thing. Nostalgia did the heavy lifting for me for this movie, and I don't mind that. Like, honestly,
see, I'm Ghostbusters ride or die. Like, I had the Firehouse 100%. When I was a kid. I had a Proton Pack. I had all the action figures. I used to wake up every Saturday morning to watch the cartoon.
Real Ghostbusters.
I even watched the cartoon when it came on in syndication. It was a sequel series called Extreme Ghostbusters. That was fantastic too. This to me was fan service the movie.
It was fan service the movie, and any other property I would have crucified for this, you know. But something about fucking Ghostbusters, man. Ghostbusters has me. It's got my heart. And it hit the perfect tone, because I didn't hate the remake, but the remake tried too much to be a comedy.
But it was funny. To me, that shit was a funny ass movie.
I'm not saying it wasn't funny, but like, if you look at the original Ghostbusters, all the humor is dry wit.
Right.
You know? It's and the Afterlife has that same sort of dry humor. It's not like knee-slappingly funny, and I think that's a problem that the remake couldn't overcome. It tried too much to be a comedy.
See, that didn't bother me. Well,
that's
what bothers me here is, like, McKenna Grace, her character, she's the main character of the movie, and to me was the only well-written character of the movie. Like, everybody else was just like a composite character. Like, you had the angry single mom, the jaded single mom, you had the quirky teacher, you had the love-torn teenage boy, you had the disaffected teenage girl he's in love with, you had the quirky, weird sidekick whose name was Podcast.
Hey, man, I'm here. I was here for it. Like, I know it had all of those archetypes in the movie, but it didn't offend me. You know, sometimes you just want a fucking popcorn movie, and this was a popcorn movie.
Was it? It was. I was bored, bro. Like, it does the thing I hate with movies, where some movies do, where you know more than what the characters know. So you spend the whole movie watching the characters catch up to what you already know.
Right.
I hate that we went back to Gozer and the Keymaster and Zool and the Gatekeeper.
You know what? I don't have a problem with that, but I do wish they had developed a bigger, badder evil.
Yes.
That was. It could have been like, oh shit. Well, if you were afraid of Gozer, then fucking Gozer's supervisor.
Yeah, exactly. That's my thing. It could have been connected to Gozer, but it should have been something else, because I'm tired of going back to the same things over and over and over again.
So I do see you there, and I think that was one of the weaker points, but it didn't bother me nearly as much as it should have. And did you know that was Olivia Wilde?
Yes, I could tell.
No,
yes.
Yeah.
I didn't like it until the third act, and when they got back to the farmhouse, just because my inner fanboy, and nostalgia kicked in to see the original three show up in the
and then Ghost Ramus.
Yep, and then Ghost I started tearing up where he grabbed the granddaughter's proton gun and started helping her out. I was like, damn.
Yeah,
y'all got me.
It knew what it was doing. That movie knew what it was fucking doing.
Yeah.
And that is the best use of that de-aging CG technology.
Yes.
Best use ever.
And they did the right thing. They wisely didn't have him talk.
Right.
Like, they had Harold Ramis just be there.
Yeah. As it fucking goes.
It was like one final goodbye for the characters and one final goodbye for the fans.
Yeah, I mean, I just felt good throughout this whole entire movie, and I wanted to hate it. I went in thinking, like, they're going to fuck this up. They're going to fuck this up. They're going to fuck this up. But honestly, when I sat down and watched it, and I heard the chords and everything like that from the original score, I was
I hated it. I hated it. I hated that they used the original score throughout the movie. I was just like, dude, that's what I'm telling you about fan service. It just felt pandering. Like, the whole movie was just pandering to a certain audience member.
I get that, but like, at least it was pandering done well.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I really wanted to, I could thoroughly thrash this film.
All right, so it seems like me and you are at an impasse here. Like, you like it, I hate it.
I like it for the same reasons you hate it. I felt like this was sort of made for me.
It's for the fans. This is a fan movie.
This is it's the best fan film ever made.
I will say that. Wait, go ahead.
How everyone's out there trying to do these internet fan films or whatever like that, or remaking Raiders or whatever you want. This is the most expensive fan film ever.
I will say, it does get me excited to see what they're going to do next and where they take this next. Like, I'm very interested to see how this moves forward, because this movie implies, like, that final shot of the movie with the Ecto-1 on the Brooklyn Bridge implies that the original three are back in business. And I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I don't know about they're back in business, or they're gonna just
hand
train
it over.
new Ghostbusters or whatever like that.
Right, because the last post-credit scene, it's Winston, and Winston is a successful businessman ever since Ghostbuster went under, and it's been revealed that he's helping the main family, in Egon's family, in this movie, and he's reopened Ghostbusters. Like, he bought the location and he just kept it the whole time, and he reopened it. He fixed up the Ecto-1 because he took the Ecto-1 back from the kids, and he's going to reopen Ghostbusters because he said, I've always been a Ghostbuster and I miss being a Ghostbuster. Like, the one thing I do say about this movie that I love is that it's basically justice for Winston Zeddemore because he gets the most screen time and the most lines of dialogue and the most importance out of the original three, besides Egon, in this fucking movie because they understood how much they kind of shitted on Winston in the previous two.
Well, Winston was important to me growing up because he's black. He's a black dude in this like he was the first guy I could look at, in a movie I loved.
Right.
And it's like that's me.
But Winston was also the everyman. He's the dude off the street who all Egon, Venkman, and Spangler. They're scientists. He's just my guy's literally just coming in like, yo, I just want a job. And he's an everyman. And over the course of the movie, he comes to love this crazy ass job.
Right.
So like that's Winston Zeddemore. He represents the people.
He represents the people, but also black. And
Yes.
I don't like this is how important Winston Zeddemore, aka Ernie Hudson, is to me. I won't buy any Ghostbusters art or product unless all 4 fucking Ghostbusters are on it.
Yeah.
Because they try to get away with that shit where there's just the 3 scientists on there.
Yep.
And it's like, no, there are 4 motherfucking Ghostbusters.
Yeah, because this movie, there's 4 kids. The previous reboot, there was 4 of them, right?
Right, there are 4 Ghostbusters, and
So yeah, and even on home video, when there's group shots of them, and they had to crop it to the TVs, he would always be cropped out of the frame.
Right. So like fucking Ernie, like I know Ernie Hudson's not listening to this show, but Ernie Hudson, I reached out to you on Twitter a couple of years ago, and you liked my thing. I will say it again. I love you. And thank you for representing me as a small, like when I was a small child watching these fucking movies.
So
representing me.
So for the next, because this is gonna get a sequel because.
Oh yeah, 100%, no doubt.
This one was cheaper to make than the 2016 one. The 2016 one cost $140 million. This one cost $76.
I mean,
and this
honestly, a lot of practical shit. There's a lot of practical shit in here.
And, well, it's not, and it's not as big and doesn't go for a lot of things as the other one did.
Right.
This one made $2 million less than the 2016 one did. The 2016 one opened at $46 million. This one opened at $44 million. So this is gonna get a sequel.
Yeah, let's get a sequel.
Hopefully in the sequel,
it could be its own thing.
Well, I want Winston to be the guiding hand. Like, I want Winston. I think this movie made clear that Winston is going to be the guiding hand from here on out.
Sony, I'm reaching out to you now. I want to direct the next Ghostbusters film. Just
and
put
you know
it
what?
Out there.
I will say I didn't hate the characters at all. So if the 4 kids, if they move back to New York City,
yeah,
and they use these kids, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, the acting was there. It was fun. It was funny. But your mileage may vary depending on how much of a Ghostbusters fan you are and how big a fanboy you are. I will give you that.
I really hope the next one is its own thing. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, it's got to be.
And the second post credits ends on a cliffhanger. The containment unit in the basement? It's blinking a red light, so it might burst.
Man, all this was in the post-credit. Like, I should have stayed for that fucking second post-credit.
Jeff, Jeff, didn't I tell you? When we talked about the reactions from CinemaCon and Comic-Con, didn't they say sit through the credits because the credits are important? And you didn't.
I don't remember that shit because everybody has seen this shit since August, and we had to go pay for this shit ourselves. I'm just saying.
But you should know this by now. These franchise films, you gotta sit through the credits.
But I'm sick of that shit, man. Can a movie just end?
No, nigga, they gotta tickle the scrotum.
Man, I don't need to get my taint tickled.
I don't know what to tell you, baby. Like, you gotta sit through the credits. I know that big gulp is running through your bladder, but you gotta hold it.
I mean, I stayed for I thought there would be one post-credit. I thought it'd be one, and I stayed for that.
No, it was two, man.
Well, okay, let's go have to see this again then, huh? All right.
I don't know about that.
So we're divided on this. We both agree that the third act is where this movie shines.
And I think we can both agree a sequel will probably be better.
Oh yeah,
much better.
Yeah.
So that is. We want to say happy Thanksgiving. Stay safe. Enjoy some time with your family. Jeff, what do you want to say to the people for Thanksgiving?
Peace.
All right. Well, happy
holidays.
Thanksgiving, and that was episode 28.
We're the Film Blurs.
I'm Brandon Norwood, and I'm the motherfucking protagonist.
I'm the protagonist. I'm Jeff Stewart, a.k.a. He Who Remains.
Don't come at us. It's just fucking movies.
You've been listening to the Film Blurs podcast.
Man, I just love what you guys do, man.
I never miss an episode. It's the best. It's my favorite podcast.
Follow Jeff on IG on MindFireXL and Brandon on Twitter at BJN Tweets.